Welcome to Zelda Speed Runs. We have a triple header of races from the 2023 Tears of the Kingdom 80% tournament. Right now, we have from Group C, it's Roms versus Sledgen. And I will pass it over to our comms for the race, Lovely Sirius and Timber. Take it away, you two.
Yes, hello everyone. I am Lovely Sirius. I am a 1.0 runner of this game, and I'm also participating in this tournament. I'll be doing a run right immediately after this one. And I'm also joined by Timber.
Hey everyone, I'm Timber. Been making some YouTube videos. I used to run, so I know a little bit about it, but I'll be commenting here with my friend Sirius.
Yeah, I mean, you made a lot of the
and...
tricks that'll be used here, or a couple of them.
Shoot.
Shoot.
Like be, skipping the. It looks like they'll be skipping the intro clip, so they'll be starting at right before picking up the Decayed Master Sword. So we won't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that is something that if you're unaware of how this tournament is formatted, they can basically choose to either start at intro and potentially do intro clip to go out of bounds and save about a minute, or they can choose not to do that and do intro skip, where they just start in the Room of Awakening after the first intro cutscene, about 6 minutes into the run. And these runners decided to start in the Room of Awakening.
Yes,
I think
Sledge is going to be on 1.1.2. You know,
yeah,
make that clip happen. So it seems.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that's the main reason that they opted to start in Room of Awakening, because 1.1.2 can't even do intro clip. So if ROMs were to do intro clip and Sledgen wasn't able to, then that's just a free minute for him, which is maybe not fair. And it looks like they're starting just like that.
Nice.
Immediately getting into it. This is nice. We don't have to, talk through a 3 or 4 minute cutscene before we get into the gameplay. We could just get right into it.
Figure out something to say for 3 minutes. We just get right into one of the harder tricks.
Well, actually, before we get right into it, though, I want to mention, I believe Sledgen is on Russian, which will save 1.1 seconds or 33 frames, because there's one less text box on the Russian version in any percent.
Somebody's going to win by 33 frames.
It's gonna, we had a finish in the qualifiers at the same time, within the same second. Phelps and first try CSS. We didn't even talk about how that works. Timber, you actually made a setup for this, so maybe you know more than most about this.
I mean, the setup is, there's plenty of setups and there's plenty of positions to make that jump. It's mostly about getting the extended jump when you're running down kind of the wall of the cog, and you need that extra boost of a jump to make it all the way across into the little crack on the wall. So it's like there's a lot of different positions you could get in to make that happen. But it's about consistency. So trying to find the fastest way to get into one of those positions is kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. And clearly they've practiced it a lot. I want to mention, someone in the chat said that you're quite quiet right now, Timber.
Let me see if I can't fix that.
Yeah, you sound okay to me, but on stream you're quiet, so... But while he's fixing that, you'll notice they already did CSS, and the point of CSS is they got up to this chest where they can get wings, which will allow them to do so much early on in the game. You'll see very soon, actually, they're going to do a wrong warp with these wings, which is not possible unless you do CSS, because there is no wings that you can access in this beginning area of the game unless you were to do that jump.
How about now? Okay, does that sound a little better?
Still quiet. It might be not on your end, because you sound okay to me. I wonder if we could get someone in here to turn you up on the stream somehow. But again, while they're fixing that, we can see Sledgen obviously on version 1.1.2, so we'll be doing just normal ascend. And Rom's also doing normal ascend, not going to be going for early ascend, which is a 1.0 exclusive trick. But both of them opting to do normal ascend, a lot safer, a lot more consistent.
How about now? I got a bunch of little knobs I'm turning. Hopefully one of them work.
We're getting there. Let's go even louder. Let's crank the volume up.
I'm just like, I don't want to blow anybody out. Let's see.
Nah, I'm listening to the stream. You could go quite loud. And while he's fixing that, you can see both runners making it to the construct and getting the pad. Pretty standard stuff here, just getting this necessary item, and then construct's going to point them towards the Temple of Time, and they're going to make their way there.
How about now?
I think we're getting there. Can you, like, commentate for a little bit? Let's see. Bit louder, some people are saying. And we have Roms duping the wings right now. I believe Sledgen will not be duping the wings yet because 1.1.2 has a different dupe method, not nearly as fast as what Roms just did there. So he's going to be placing a wing behind him here. And duping his last Zonai capsule. Doing a method called throw duping once he warps back to the pad. And we have Roms also placing the wing as Sledgen voids out.
So Sledgen's going to be duping his wings right here next to, right before he makes the flight over, right? I'm not too familiar with the 1.1.2 side of things.
Yeah, I know that the only way to do it as of right now is throw duping, which is what he's doing right now. But later on, there is a method to fast dupe. After GSI, you'll see a pretty cool method I didn't see until I saw him do a race. But as you can see, if you saw Roms duping his wings earlier, he duped about 12 wings in like 3 seconds. That is just not possible on this later version.
Barely turned my head and the wings were duped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is actually a good point to bring up. I believe this is the first head-to-head race in this tournament that are on different versions. I think every race before this has been 2 1.0 runners against each other. This is the first one with different versions going head-to-head, so we'll get to see direct differences here and where one version may save time over the other, like with the duping on 1.0. And it looks like Sledgen has duped about 11 wings, which should be, I believe, enough for just the entire run.
Sledgen's definitely keeping up, having to stay behind and dupe those wings for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a little bit behind. Roms is exiting the cave as Sledgen is entering it, but pretty fast throw dupes by Sledgen there overall. Looked like he didn't miss any. I don't know if it's like really easy to throw dupe if you may miss it sometimes, but it looked like he got all of them duped first try. I think the bomb that Sledgen just picked up there, I've never seen anyone pick up. I guess because I've mostly only watched 1.0 runners, and they're able to dupe these bombs so easily they don't need to pick up that one that's kind of out of the way. But for Sledgen, because duping is a lot harder, very limited on how many bombs you can get, he's going to get whatever ones he can and maybe go a little bit more out of the way to pick up one extra bomb there.
Duping, it doesn't seem like that'll cost him too much more time.
I think I don't think he's even going to be duping any bombs. I think just however many he picked up there is how many he's going to use for the run.
Yeah, he probably has it routed out to use a very specific amount of bombs.
Yeah, he also picked up Bright Bloom seeds there, which I believe was intentional.
Yeah, I was wondering about
that will be
Someone
used
picked up
for a
2.
dupe. Yeah, that was definitely intentional. I believe last run I saw him do, he also had Bright Bloom seeds in his inventory when he was duping his Ruby. Definitely intentional. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but we will see. We have Rom's duping his bombs. I think, did he... How many bombs does he have? I usually see people duping bombs while waiting for the platform to ascend, but I guess as long as you make the Cyclone ascend... Oh wait, Rom's getting the bow here. That's interesting. Does Roms do ZOAS? Is the question. Because other than ZOAS, I don't know why you would pick up that bow. I'm not totally sure what route this is, but we're going to find out pretty soon here. Making the cycle. It is actually smart to dupe those bombs and just kill the construct with one bomb throw, rather than picking up sticks and using the sticks to kill the construct and get the bow, which can be a little bit slower, a little bit harder to make the cycle.
I mean, if he needs the bow, he's got to dupe those bombs at some point anyways, so...
Yeah, and he made the fast cycle anyway, so it doesn't really matter what you do in the meantime while you're waiting for the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I do recall, now that I'm thinking of it, I think Roms did pick up a stick on the way to the Puripad construct, which makes sense if he's doing ZOAS, so it looks like we are likely going to be seeing that, which will be cool to see. I think you don't get to see that too much in these races. Most runners opt for a more consistent, less scary route, because ZOAS, if you die with ZOAS, it loses a lot of time. You lose your arrow smuggle when he does the setup, but it can be very, very punishing to die with this route. What
Sledgen
version are the runners
narrowly
on?
avoided getting shot from
Oh,
the
yes.
construct he ran around.
Yeah, I see a lot of people calling that construct Billy in the chat.
Billy.
So, luckily avoiding Billy's shots. And yeah, as Cloud had said, ROMs is on version 1.0 and Sledgen is on 1.1.2.
Oh. Hmm.
Now we're going to see no amiibo. I believe amiibo is allowed. No scanning for speed food here from ROMs.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Amiibo is
actually makes sense, because ZOAS generally, most people have opted to do no speed food for ZOAS, just because most of the running in the route is replaced with Aeroflight at this point. So it's not very beneficial to scan amiibo for speed food, especially if you don't get it first try. It's kind of scary how low his wing is, but he doesn't scare the construct. If you get too close to that construct with the wing, he will get scared and hide in his shell. Loses about, I think, 8 seconds. Waiting for him to come back out. Oh, scanning amiibo, okay.
Alright.
Oh, this is for attack up food, which makes sense because they are doing no Ganon Zuggle, which means that since ROMs is on version 1.0, he does have the option of Zuggling for Ganondorf, which will be able to take out every phase of Ganondorf in one Flurry Rush. But because Sledgen is on version 1.1.2 and does not have access to that, they opted to ban that to make it a little bit more fair, a little more equal. So ROMs is going to be getting attack up food to make that no Zuggle Ganondorf fight a little bit faster. As we see
I don't think I've
Sledgen
ever killed
making his way.
Ganon without Zuggle, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
even know what to pick up.
I didn't either until this tournament, where one of my races will be no Ganon Zuggle, so I had to learn it. It's not bad, just
Nice.
more flurry rushes. Rom's picking up the second shield, which will be used for Zuggling and cooking his speed food. I mean, not speed food, attack up food.
So it looks like Sledgen got what he needed. He already got his fleet load of seed for speed and his fish for the attack up. So, and I feel like he's gaining on him a little bit, even though he has to take a little bit of time to do a few extra things.
Yeah, most of the time difference here is just from route differences due to the different versions. Mostly the throw duping is what made the difference for Sledgen here, but you know, some clean movement can like make up that distance pretty easily. Especially because Roms is going to be setting up ZOAS here, so at least for the moment, they should sync up pretty soon. Oh, that was cool by Sledgen. Sledgen did a quick throw dupe before throwing that ruby to make sure that he can still have rubies for later in the run. Actually, this is a lot of stuff that I haven't seen from Sledgen before. Because in qualifiers, Amiibo wasn't allowed, so he had to do a different route. You can see him duping the fish with the Bright Bloom seeds. That's what I was talking about with the fast dupe. Now he has 5 fish just like that. And we'll be doing the same with the Fleet Lotus seed to get speed food as well. Yeah, just like that. That's a really cool dupe method that I think you'll only ever see on version 1.1.2. I think that's unique to this version.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to leave the ruby back there. I was like, did he forget it? Or is he going back to grab
Yeah, I
it?
noticed that as well. And yeah.
That's crazy.
And you can see Roms duping his bombs for the rest of the run. ZOAS uses more bombs than every other route because a lot of the arrow flights require a bomb jump to get momentum. So he'll be working through quite a few bombs in the run. And you can see him doing the setup for ZOAS. So what he's doing here is called drop zuggling, where you drop a certain amount of items and then unpause and then pause again real quick and drop more items. And essentially it drops only a couple items and the rest of the items that you tried to drop stack and zuggle. And what this causes is once you've done it enough, he's going to do, I think, 3 cycles of triple zuggling, where he's going to zuggle his weapons, shields, and bows. And once he's done 3 cycles, he's going to drop his zuggle and switch his bows. And when he switches his bows, there's going to be so many items on the ground, the game doesn't really know what's going on, and it's going to drop his bow as well. When he only switched the bow, it's going to drop it. And what that's going to do is cause him to only have an arrow in his hand, which is going to allow him to do what you're seeing right here, where he's attempting to pull out his bow, but he doesn't have a bow in his hand, he only has an arrow. So he can constantly start pulling out his bow, do a jump attack, pull out his bow again, and repeat that to gain infinite height really, really fast. And as I say that, he immediately skips the construct. There's normally a construct cutscene here that you'll see Sledgen run into in a second here, but he just skips it entirely with arrow flight.
And I like how instead of getting rid of his arrows or using the spin attack, he just decided to run. He ran around till he got rid of his stamina so he didn't get stuck in bullet time.
Yeah. And yeah, you're going to see the fuse to alter hand arrow flight here. Probably the hardest arrow flight in the run. You need to keep up a pretty good BPM, a pretty good rhythm, to be able to gain enough height to make it to the shrine without running into anything. He does the setup perfectly and drains his stamina. Looking good on the rhythm here. And you could just see how fast this is. Almost hitting that tree and messing up. Okay, doesn't die. Messes up the BPM there. I think that tree really messed him up there. I would have been really confused too. Maybe his angle was off. You're not normally supposed to run into that tree. But luckily didn't die. So just going to be able to run over to the shrine and not lose too much time. A lot better than a death, especially with this route where a death means you need to reset up arrow smuggle or abandon it altogether. So if this is me, I'll take it, you know, at least I didn't die. That's what I'd be thinking right now. And this will be really good for Sledgen to catch up.
If you,
oh yeah.
Flight halfway through.
Yeah, you really just have to hope you're above water or something. But this will be really good for Sledgen to catch up quite a bit here. As you see Rom's having to do some really unconventional movement to get to Ultra Hand here. Whereas Sledgen is going to be going for either under or over GSI. Yeah, this is actually overall pretty clean backup from Rom's. Not much you can do better here. Just a couple bomb jumps. That's a cool spot to fuse your wing to your shield that Sledgen just did. I don't know if you saw that, but after the wing across the little lake there, instead of just running away from that wing, he turns around and fuses it to his shield, which he'll use later for lots of uses, especially in Ultra Hand. And setting up what looks like a little bit of an unconventional under GSI here.
The over-under.
Yeah, a little bit of an over-under. That's actually really neat. That I've not seen from Sledgen before. I think because he did no speed food in his other runs. I don't know. I don't remember seeing this in his other runs. But this is a really neat strat that I've not seen any other runner use. I think Sledgen is known for kind of coming up with his own strats. I know he has his own strat for no amiibo to get a ruby over in Castle. And that also is pretty neat. And we have Roms doing a ledge bomb here. Arrow flight for Ultra Hand. Doesn't get the fast ledge bomb, but still going to get some speed. Only going to go halfway, which is actually smart because he didn't get very much momentum. So instead of arrow flying the whole way there, which is honestly just going to be slower than running at this point, he's going to stop halfway and do a bomb jump to the end of the shrine.
Sledgen did get that ascend right before Ultra Hand, and that one always makes me so nervous.
Yeah,
it's like
it really does.
You can get it pretty consistently, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm standing just a little too far to the left or right, and all of a sudden it's like I'm not there.
Yeah, it really depends on the position. If you have a good position, it's pretty easy to get, but sometimes it's hard to control that wing. It doesn't want to behave the way you want it to, and it'll mess you up. Oh, we see Sledgen doing an interesting shield jump here. A little bit safer.
Nice.
I used to do that as well before just kind of sending it. You can make it across with a normal shield jump, but it's a lot more precise. You need to jump at the very edge. And doing the way he did there is just a lot more consistent.
And especially in a race setting, I don't think he's trying to get the world record or nothing. So, why not try to avoid losing a few seconds and only save a few? Get something that's way more consistent.
Very true. And as we were looking at Sledgen in Ultra Hand, you see Rom's already at the Temple of Time. That is because he did an arrow flight after Ultra Hand, which is just quite fast. He just arrow flies straight to the door. Happens very, very quick. So he will already be making his way to getting recall from Zelda here.
Sledge is going for the ascend under the front.
Oh yeah, the ascend. I've only ever seen people do bomb jumps here, and I was gonna say he only has a wing shield. What's he gonna do? But yeah, I mean, ascending. That's that's probably still faster than what most people do there with the shield jump wing.
Wow.
I think Sledgen's definitely made up some time here, especially after the Rom's arrow flight mistake. They're getting closer and closer. And I think at this point, the only place their routes are really going to diverge is with Sledgen duping his rubies. I think that's the only really difference maker at this point. Sledgen is obviously going to have to do the slightly slower method of duping for the rubies, whereas the Roms will have the easy 1.0 method. But other than that, it should be a pretty similar route all the way to the end here, so we'll get to see maybe Sledgen can catch up a little bit with just some clean movement.
Roms will probably be going for the arrow flight and recall.
Yeah.
We'll see if Sledgen can keep it tight because he won't be able to make it at the same time.
I wonder if he goes for the ledge bomb or the easier arrow flight. Because I'm thinking about learning this ledge bomb and recall. That saves a little bit of time, like 2 or 3 seconds, I think. But it's a lot harder and a lot more punishing if you miss it. So I'm gonna take notes if he does it. Actually, was that just a stair? Did he just use the stairs? I actually kind of missed that.
Just use the stairs, yeah.
Yeah,
He just
that's
used
what
the
I do
stairs.
as well.
He did a little run back and forth, but he did miss the first cycle of
Yeah, I
recall,
actually kind of missed what happened there, but this should be actually the same cycle that Sledgen gets, or Sledgen might even be able to get a faster cycle.
Yeah, if he's able to do the ultra hand on the clock.
Sledgen falling in the
It'll be
water for a
slightly
second there, but
faster recall.
yeah. And Sledgen has speed food, whereas Roms does not have speed food, so that's going to make up time overall throughout the entire run. I'm not sure if he cooked 2 speed food dishes. I think it was just 1, so he will not have speed food for running to Ganondorf, which would be very nice, but obviously version 1.1.2, it's a lot harder to dupe those Fleet Lotus seeds to cook 2 speed food dishes. And we're going to see a normal recall from Sledgen, just doing it very fast. See if we could get that faster cycle. Looking pretty good. Might be able to get the Ultra Hand. Okay, yep, gets the Ultra Hand. Saving a little bit of time.
Yeah, a little bit of time. I mean, without arrow flight, you know, you could get it pretty early to be able to ultra hand it, but there's some things that'll cause you to dive into the water if the platform's too far away, and you know, making sure you change to ultra hand pretty early so you can get it, because if that hand gets a little too high, it's always hard to grab, or at least harder to grab, and you have to switch back to recall.
And again, we missed it, but Roms did that same arrow flight from Ultra Hand to Temple of Time quite fast, making his way, getting his 4th heart, and is going to be opening the door to finish up GSI and head to the end of the game, head to the castle. Actually interesting, since Rom's already cooked the attack up food, he has an option of going to the Temple of Time clip, or not the Temple of Time, sorry, the Hyrule Castle clip spot, the balcony clip spot, or the well clip spot. So we'll get to see, he has just an option here of which one he wants to go for.
And Sledgen still needs to cook his attack up food?
I believe he already cooked it as well. They both did it at the where they picked up the shield after Ascend. And Rom's doing this arrow flight. This is the same arrow flight I do. It's quite slow actually. I really want to find like a ledge bomb or something here to speed up this arrow flight. As you can see, it takes him quite a few to get to the altar here. A ledge bomb could get you there in like probably 5 less seconds. Save 5 seconds if you could find a fast ledge bomb setup there. But I haven't seen any good ones yet. But with that, Roms is on his way. Gonna be duping the rubies on the wing here. Believe misses 1 dupe there. Yeah, only has 2. Obviously, though, even if you're missing dupes, these 1.0 dupes are just so much faster than any other dupe method. It doesn't matter. You could miss a lot of dupes and still be saving time. Clouded saying, have you seen air gulls set up with the wing very fast? I think if you're talking about the ledge bomb one, where you like ledge bomb off the front of the wing, I have seen that, and I haven't messed with it, but it looked scary to me. It didn't look like something I could do consistently. Also, Rom's duping around 30 rubies here, which is more than enough.
Yeah, but he's got the time, so
Yeah.
usually spare a couple.
And doing a bomb jump here to get some extra distance. Definitely going to be going for the well clip spot. Whereas I believe Sledgen normally goes for the castle clip spot, but I guess we'll find out.
It looks like he might be aiming towards the well a little bit.
So we'll get to see Roms demonstrating the Aeroflight clipping, which is a lot faster than the manual infinite height clipping that you're going to see Sledgen do, and just like that, he's through. It's that easy with Aero Smuggle. Not much to really explain, he's just doing the same infinite height he always does, and if your head is close to the ceiling when you do it, Link will just clip through, and then you just do a shield jump and you're out of bounds. It's very, very good, very fast. And another benefit that Aero Smuggle has is it also makes fall damage cancel a lot easier, like almost impossible to fail. So you're going to see Roms make his way to this ragdoll clip spot if he goes for it. And he will be demonstrating how easy the fall damage cancel with Aero Smuggle is.
Looks like he's headed to the, or at least I guess the usual clip, ragdoll clip spot. I've been seeing that newer one going on though. Looks like it's been working pretty well.
Yeah, I have a different one that I do for the balcony clip, but as we say that, it looks like Roms is actually going to go for the what is called the backup, but it's really just the more consistent version of ragdoll clip, where you do a setup here to basically make it so that Link will ragdoll off this spot with a lot of momentum and always clip, just like that. Which is good for a race. You don't want to, risk doing ragdoll clip and missing it, which will lose around 20 seconds. And you'll see again, these fall damage cancels just so easy with Aero Smuggle. Just press Y and R and you've canceled fall damage. And just like that, he's into army.
Sledgen got his duping done. It didn't look like it took that long.
Yeah, that is the power of that.
It's a pretty early.
Yeah, very good
too.
manual clip, which, as we said, is usually a lot slower than the. Really taking his time getting out of the water there. That's interesting. But yeah, usually manual clips take quite a lot longer than the Aero Smuggle version of infinite height clipping. But sometimes the Aero Smuggle can be more of a curse, because it's a lot harder to tell if you're going to clip. When you do the manual ones, you get a really good feeling for if you're going to clip. With the Aero Smuggle ones, at least for me, it feels a little bit random if I get the clip or not. And sometimes it can take a long time to get that lucky position. Oh, we see some...
I infinite height clip like I Aero Smuggle clip. I just keep banging my head against the roof till I'm in.
Yeah, just hope.
Shield serves.
There's a little bit of a scary Lizalfos phase for Roms there. They charged at him very fast, but only taking one hit and not dying is the important thing. As we see Sledgen going for the same setup as Roms did, getting the fall damage cancel. Oh, actually, I think Sledgen... maybe that wasn't auto-save.
Yeah, it was
I didn't see the auto-save.
Yeah, I didn't see it pop up either.
Getting the clip regardless. Both going to be in army at the same time. Rom's going to be on the last phase as Sledgen enters the first phase. Pretty decent army for Roms. A little bit scary on the Lizalfos, but overall pretty clean. Didn't die. That's what really matters in army, as long as you're not dying.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah, he's gonna be heading into the boss rush, which we will be quickly skipping with more infinite height clipping. As you'll see him head to a specific spot here. Line up his foot on the floor there in a specific spot and does these infinite heights, and just like that, he's through. That one always gives me trouble with the Aero Smuggle clip, that clip is always the one that takes a while to get through, so he got that very fast. Having a little bit of a problem walking here, but make his way to the third clip spot.
Oof, Sledgen just took a hit from Lizalfos.
Oh yeah, same thing happened to Roms. These guys are definitely the hardest phase in the army.
Yeah, man. They always
Oh,
get
and he gets hit by the
Oh,
projectile
no.
from the Lizalfos and dies. That is really unfortunate. The Lizalfos rarely do that projectile attack, but like when they do it, it's so hard to dodge. It comes out so fast. And unfortunately, he already took one hit before that.
I don't think he got the autosave either, so...
Yeah, I did not see the
He
autosave
definitely
pop
went
up.
for it. He definitely tried to grab that.
Mm-hmm. But we will see here, Roms is a 1.0 runner. And may not be very used to doing Ganondorf no Zuggle, so hasn't taken his attack up food yet. I wonder if he's gonna take it right now. Hopefully he remembers.
Sledgen just checked his saves to see if that autosave was there, and it wasn't, unfortunately. But I was gonna say that Sledgen would be a little bit more comfortable in this no Zelda Ganon fight.
Yeah, that is honestly the only way that Sledgen can really come back here is if Roms, due to being more unfamiliar with the Zuggle no Zuggle Ganondorf, maybe has a few mistakes here, especially on the second phase, can be really easy to get hit. And since he already got hit once during the Lizalfos phase, any hit will kill him in one hit. So, and look at all those rubies that Sledgen has duped. Just immediately ascending here. I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah.
Oh, for Amiibo. As we see Roms on the second phase. This is the phase that where no Zuggle can be quite scary because there's so many of these Phantom Ganons, and Ganon also has that really scary attack that he just did there. Luckily, Roms avoids it. And gets a pretty good flurry rush here. You want to be away from all the Phantom Ganons during these flurry rushes because, like, if you're flurry rushing Ganondorf while there's a Phantom Ganon near you, immediately after you finish the flurry rush, they can just hit you right out of the flurry rush and there's nothing you can do. So you want to be away from those Phantom Ganons, which Roms just did perfectly there. Making that phase very, very easy. And now just heads into the last phase, which again, if he gets hit once, he will have to go back to the beginning. But the second phase is generally the scariest one, so getting past that I'm sure is a huge relief for him. As we see Sledgen making his way back to the ragdoll clip spot here, unfortunately did not have the autosave, so he's going to have to be doing the well clip again and making his way to the ragdoll clip. Roms actually has a pretty good method for this third phase, it looks like. It looks like he doesn't hit him with every shot, waits for Ganondorf to do a backstep, and then attacks him again to just chain these flurry rushes, which actually seems really smart. Look at that. Waits for him to backstep and gets another flurry rush immediately. I think I'm going to steal that and use that myself, because that definitely makes that phase a lot more trivial. So essentially, if you finish your combo when you flurry rush Ganondorf, instead of doing that little backstep, he'll do a big backstep and switch his weapons normally, which can cause a lot of annoyances. If he switches to his hammer or his big club and he does that one scary attack where he slams the floor, that can be really scary and really hard to deal with. So what he's doing there is basically getting him in like a stun lock where he's constantly only going to have his sword out, only doing those little backsteps, and he could just chain these flurry rushes, making the phase just a lot more straightforward. You pretty much just have to flurry rush him and not have to worry about any of his other moves that he would normally do in that phase. You see Sledgen looks like fusing a bomb to his shield and backing up to the edge here. I wonder actually what Sledgen is doing here.
The boss bokoblin off the edge so he didn't have to dupe those extra rubies.
Oh, that's really smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
there he goes. That's a really cool strat.
Duping time.
Yeah, I can't pick up the boss Bokoblin horn though because he kind of fell off the map, so that's a little bit of a problem with that. But I also like this strat. I see Sledgen do this strat a lot, where he does a little infinite height to get bullet time here, and can just deal with these Lizalfos super easily without any problems.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Especially after what happened on the Lizalfos last time, just do that, be nice and safe, is really good. And we're about to see Roms do the 2-cycle Demon Dragon here. I believe this is actually quite a good pace for Roms. I'm not sure exactly what pace it is on, but I haven't really noticed too many mistakes from him. I don't know about you. I guess there's the fuse to Ultra Hand mistake, but that was pretty much it.
I think it was the only big one, the only big amount of time loss. Other than that, it's been pretty clean.
And getting shot out to the right there. I was scared that he's going to get shot out to the left, which would have made it a lot harder to get to the second eye in time, but gets shot out to the right, which is what he wants. And he's going to be able to make his way to the second eye very easily. Having a little bit of a fumble here, but honestly, I think he got there so fast that it's still going to work for the 2-cycle. Yeah, Zelda coming from the west. Going to be meeting her around northwest, which should work for this 2-cycle here. As we see Sledgen finishing up army.
Completing army.
Yeah. Waiting a while to start diving here, but obviously looks fine, making it to that third eye perfectly. And it's going to run out. He's doing this 2-cycle with no speed food, which is always a little bit harder than doing it with speed food, because running out of these eyes, you can kind of get caught on like the edges if you don't have speed food. But fortunately making his way to the fourth eye here with no problems. This is looking like a very, very solid pace.
And I was about to say I didn't see him fuse anything, but then I realized he still had the attack food from Ganondorf, so he didn't really need to. He's just going to get the 3 hits on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. No need to fuse, because 3 hits makes this 2-cycle a lot easier, so you don't even need to fuse anything if you're getting it with 3 hits. And going to be doing not the fast ending for the Demon Dragon. He's going to instead land on Zelda and fly over to his head to get the last hit. But yeah, this base looks quite good for Roms. I believe the timer is off, obviously, because they started in Rings of Awakening. So it says 40 minutes here, but in reality it should be more like 47 minutes, 48 minutes right now. Which is still very good. Sub 50 and a no reset is very, very solid. And you see Sledgen doing a quick throw dupe on that Lizalfos part to
Did he get it?
I don't.
Yeah.
I think he's missed it.
I think he missed the first one, but he got the second one.
Or no, I think he got them.
Third.
He got them all, I think, or almost all of them at least. But he needed to do multiple because no Zuko Ganondorf, of course. He needs multiple halberds. And we're about to see Roms finishing up here with should be a mid 42 according to this timer. Should be accounting for the intro skip time difference. It should be in reality around a 49. And there it is, finishing up. GG. Everyone give Roms a big GG in the chat.
Sub 50.
Yeah, pretty dang clean run. Not much really went wrong. Should be 49.07 with intro timing. Yep.
Nice.
Very clean.
Sledgen getting through the second phase.
Yeah, it
We
looks
did
like
that pretty quickly.
Sledgen doing quite well. Probably, obviously has a lot more experience with Nose Uncle Ganondorf. That's all he's ever done, so probably pretty comfortable here. I believe Sledgen also goes for the 2-cycle Demon Dragon, which will be interesting because he's on version 1.1.2. Makes the trick a little bit different than version 1.0. Because you have slower Mazdur jumps. Let's see if Sledgen does what Roms did, where it doesn't finish the combo fully, it waits for the backstep. Yeah, Sledgen does that as well. And you just get a lot of free hits and can just chain these flurry rushes. That is some interesting stuff that you would not know if you didn't do Nose Uncle Ganondorf.
Yeah, for sure. That's the first time I've seen it. And it looks like he's going for more than just the one hit. He's hitting him a couple of times after that step back.
Yeah, it seems like you can just spam it, and eventually he'll just trigger another flurry rush. And just like that, that phase becomes so much easier. Another small benefit that you'll notice from Sledgen, because he's on version 1.1.2, when he finishes the Demon Dragon, he's going to get a faster load screen than ROMs, because version 1.0, if you're standing on the ground when you finish the Demon Dragon, you will lose 8 seconds to a loading screen, which only exists on version 1.0 for some reason. Just a weird quirk. I don't actually recall if ROMs tried to do a backflip. Maybe I'll ask him if he I think he's just joined the call actually, so it'll be perfect. Hello Roms, GG. I believe that was a very good run from you. I believe Roms.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, GG though.
Yeah, thanks.
GG, Roms.
Yeah, I just said that it's a pretty good run, especially without intro clip and get on the go.
Yeah, actually, thinking about it that way, that was a very good run. I believe that was like a 49 with neither of those tricks. That's very good.
Yeah, that's very solid.
And I wanted to ask, because you got hit by the Lizalfos, did you have full hearts going into Demon Dragon?
No, I was at 2 hearts.
Okay, so did you go for the backflip? Did you get that?
Oh no, I don't try it.
Oh yeah.
I just go for the 3 hits normally.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying is version 1.0 you get that 8-second loading screen if you
it's
are
very
standing on the
annoying.
ground. But we do see Sledgen here going for the 2-cycle as well, so we'll see if he hits that. You want to talk about your run a little bit, Roms? Like what went well, what didn't go so well?
Yeah, just the arrow flight that did not go well, but otherwise it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was the only thing that
idea
I
what
thought of
you're-
as well.
Did you have ideas as to what you were going to do for the backup, or did you just kind of wing it there?
Yeah, I wanted to place a wing, but I didn't have the speed food. So I was going for a normal strat.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, yeah, like, ideally you'd want to do a wing and do a little bit of an under GSI, maybe.
Yeah.
To get there, but yeah, no speed food makes that a lot harder. You can maybe try doing the backflip Mazdur jump wing pull.
Yeah, but I was going for the boom jumps.
Yeah. And that worked out perfectly fine. I think that backup was pretty clean.
Yeah, it was, for sure.
Looks like Sledgen did not get the 2-cycle. He's shaking his head. Not happy about missing that.
shot out the left side of the third eye, I think.
Oh yeah, that's the worst way to fail it, because you do everything right, and then the game just decides to shoot you the wrong way. Even though you're running to the right, you know, you'd think if you're running to the right, the game would know to shoot you to the right, but sometimes it's not the case. So, this is your first run of the group stages, right? How are you feeling going into the rest? How's your group looking?
My group is pretty hard. I have 3 very great opponents, so I will try to finish at the top, but it will be hard, yes.
Yeah, I believe looking at your group, you got Red Slay, who just got a world record a couple days ago. So that's a tough opponent.
Yeah, it will be hard.
And then you also have ZS Roach, I believe was world record holder for 1.2 for a long time. So yeah, definitely a few good runners.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
I mean, with your performance there, that was pretty solid. That was looking real good for the rest of your runs, if you could keep up that pace.
Yeah, I will try.
And you'll see here, by the way, we kind of missed it, but Sledgen did not get the 8-second loading screen because he is on version 1.1.2. So doesn't have to worry about doing any backflip or any mid-air jumps to avoid that. Just gonna go catch Zelda with not a bad time at all. I believe Sledgen's PB is 53, if I'm not mistaken. So if his splits are accurate here, a 56 is not too bad at all for a no reset, especially with a death at army, which is, you know, one of the most costly mistakes in terms of time loss.
Definitely reset worthy. Yeah, I think his last previous best was a 53, and you know, missing army, dying during army, that's definitely gonna add like 4 or 5 minutes if we gotta keep going.
Yeah, especially because he didn't get the autosave, so he had to redupe
as
and
well.
things. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, with that, a 57, very solid time by Sledgen. GG. And Sledgen in the call now. Sledgen, hello. GG.
Hey, Sledgen.
Hey,
That was pretty
GG.
unfortunate. But I got most tricks decently, but the army death was really unfortunate. I thought I got the autosave, but I guess I didn't wait there for long enough, so yeah.
Yeah, we saw you stand in that spot trying to get the autosave, and it just didn't pop up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think other than that, it looked pretty clean to me.
Yeah, a lot of parts of the run I was pretty proud of. I think GSI was alright. I didn't get 2 cycle, but 3 cycle is fine. So yeah, not terrible.
How are you feeling going into the rest of your races? I know your group is pretty tough. Roms was just talking about, so
I guess I'm just gonna accept whatever happens and just do it.
Just do it, yeah. That's an optimistic outlook, yeah. And I mean, it's not even over, of course. Like, you got you know, Red Slay may not be used to no Ganon Zuggle. Maybe make it a little bit closer. Nerf him a little bit. He needs it. The guy just got a world record. Like, come on now. He needs a little bit of a nerf. But yeah, I mean, that was a pretty solid race overall from both of you. I look forward to seeing you guys in future races coming up. I think Roms has one on Wednesday.
And on Thursday, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Please give our runners a follow, Roms and Sledgen. Also, give a follow to our commentators, Lovely Sirius and Timber. But don't touch that dial on ZSR. We have another Tears of the Kingdom race coming up in a little over an hour between Lovely Sirius and Moist Goulash. So we will see you there.
Yes. That'll be fun. I'm excited for my race.